Good morning, church. Happy to spend another Wednesday with the Word with you guys. Today we're going to be, if you've been following along in the reading plan, we've been making our way through Deuteronomy. We're towards the tail end. One more week of the reading plan left. But if you've been following along, we've been through kind of the meat of the book of Deuteronomy right now. And there's been all these laws that are going through, and looking through these laws and reading through these laws, it can get kind of overwhelming trying to soak it all in. But there's an interesting little section as you make your way through all these laws. There's a moment where it takes time to discuss a king. So God's giving these laws to the Israelites, and he's saying, all right, when you get to the point when you're ready to set for yourself a king, here's what your king should do. And so we're just going to look at real quick at it. You know, he says, be sure to appoint over you a king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your fellow Israelites. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not an Israelite. The king, moreover, must not acquire a great number of horses for himself, or make people return to Egypt to get more of them. For the Lord has told you, you are not to go back that way again. He must not take many wives, or his heart may be led astray. He must not accumulate large amounts of silver and gold. And man, you're reading through that, and you are familiar with any of the kings of Israel, and it sounds real familiar. Like Israel might have a king that does pretty much all of these things. But here's what is interesting when we read what a king should do. It says, when he takes the throne of his kingdom, he is to write for himself on a scroll a copy of this law taken from the Levitical priest. It is to be with him, and he is to read it all the days of his life, so that he may learn to revere the Lord his God and follow carefully all the words of this law and decrees, and not consider himself better than his fellow Israelites, and turn from the law to the right or the left. All right, and so it's such a reminder that even in a position of greatness, God's reminding and encouraging humility. And so I know sometimes in life we can feel like we're being elevated to positions, maybe being asked to take on great responsibility. And God's word just shows us over and over again to remain humble, to treat others well, and ultimately to make sure that we're working hard every single day to walk in step with where God's leading. So hope this word encourages you. Thanks for spending a little time with me this Wednesday morning, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.